High school students in Joplin, Pittsburgh, and elsewhere in the 4 states participate in a walkout to put the focus on gun issues. Plus,
students bring their gun law message to Congress. I'm Mola Lengi on Capitol Hill, where hundreds of students rallied today demanding lawmakers act.
And tips from a psychologist on how to talk with your kids about school violence.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Local students join others nationwide in taking a stand against school shootings and advocating gun control. This is KOAM News at 5. Students walked out of several area schools in peaceful protest this morning. We begin in Joplin. KOAM's Lisa Olgus joins us from the newsroom.
Thanks, Dow. We couldn't be on the football field with Joplin High students, but shot from across the street and with their phones and photos captured student activism in action. Coordinators say 175 students participated in the walkout. They were required to have a parent sign permission slip to participate. They carried signs saying "Never again" and "Fear has no place in schools." Those who didn't walk say the problem is bigger than just gun control. While one speaker at the walkout shared memories of the Memorial Middle School shooting in Joplin, which she said made no sense to her when she was 6 years old, but is much clearer now.
I've wanted to be a part of it since I realized that I didn't always feel safe being at school, and that's not part of my job description. I go to school to learn and not to fear for my life.
I've seen it on social media to walk up and not out, and so walk up to 17 kids that look lonely, talk to 3 teachers about how their day is going, and just say things nice to them. So that's what I'm going to do.
Addie and others who chose not to walk out support their fellow students' efforts at free speech, but believe it's a bigger issue than gun control and that action needs to be taken inside school. Tonight at 6, we hear from others who didn't walk and with the coordinator of the event on what students hope to achieve.
All right, Lisa Olgus. Thanks, Lisa. About 75 students at Pittsburgh High School also staged a walkout. During the 17-minute protest, students released 17 balloons, one for each victim of the Florida shooting. Some students said it was their chance to be heard.
We're not just children, that we know what we're talking about, and that even though I'm 16, that doesn't take away from the fact that I do research and that I know what I'm talking about and that I want change. I don't want to just stay in the status quo.
In addition to these protests in Pittsburgh and Joplin, students also held walkouts in a number of other area communities, including Fort Scott, Galena, and Erie in Kansas and Miami, Oklahoma. Hundreds of students joined Democratic lawmakers for a rally in front of the Capitol today, demanding Congress act to stop gun violence. Legislation to improve school safety is getting attention, but measures to tighten gun control face an uphill battle. Mola Lengi reports from Capitol Hill.
Students brought their message to lawmakers' doorstep.
This is in our hands now, and if any elected official gets in our way, we will vote them out and replace them ourselves.
In front of the Capitol, they demanded Congress act to stop gun violence.
Call on Congress and keep calling until they hear our message.
On the House floor, a vote authorizing $50 million a year to improve school safety.
Prevention training gives students and school personnel the ability to recognize and respond quickly to warning signs of school violence.
On the Senate side, there is broad support for a bill aimed at strengthening the background check system, but it hasn't been brought up for a vote.
The 17 lives in Parkland, Florida are worth a lot more than the weak response we've heard from this committee and from the president.
Wednesday, a Senate panel pressed witnesses about what could have been done to prevent the Parkland massacre. The FBI admitted mishandling tips about the shooter.
When we make mistakes, we will not hide from them, and we are committed, with your help, to doing whatever is necessary to correct our mistakes.
Stoneman Douglas teacher Catherine Posada told lawmakers more funding for mental health programs and school safety will help, but pleaded for common sense gun laws.
How many innocent lives could have been saved if these weapons of war weren't so readily available?
Democrats at the rally with students favor an assault weapons ban and other gun control measures. Those proposals have not gained traction in the Republican-controlled Congress. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House released a statement praising the House for passing the Stop School Violence Act today and saying the administration looks forward to working with the Senate to protect America's students. We invite you to join us for an informal Facebook Live discussion tomorrow concerning an issue related to school violence. We'll explain the KOAM news policy and gather input from you on what our role should be in reporting school and bomb threats. We'll invite you to join in by posting questions, comments, or suggestions. That's going to be live on the KOAM TV Facebook page at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon, immediately after our 5 o'clock news. Hope you join us on Facebook. Nice weather out there today, Doug Heddy.
Yeah, fantastic. Warming up, plenty of sunshine across the region, and it looks like we're going to have plenty of sunshine as we work through really about the next 24 hours, and then we'll start to see some changes. Most of the Central Plains look pretty good. Next storm system is building out to our west. Temperatures, we're sitting 60 upwards to about 64, 65 in our western counties. Now the winds have really picked up. We have southerly winds at about 10 to 20. Gusts have been a little bit higher than that. As we work through the evening, it'll be a slow drop through the 50s, 40s, and I think we'll bottom out right around 42 or 43 degrees. We do have some rain chances in the forecast. Of course, we're going to be looking at that moving in Thursday night, plus some warm temperatures, all coming up here in a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Doug. The closely watched special House election in Pennsylvania is still a toss-up. But in the heart of Trump country, a Democrat is claiming victory. The seat that's been in GOP hands for 15 years, and the Republican Rick Saccone has not conceded the race. President Trump won here by 20 points and visited twice to support Saccone. The race in the 18th district was to replace Republican Tim Murphy, who resigned in a sex scandal. Britain announced today it'll expel 23 Russian diplomats, the biggest such expulsion since the Cold War, and break off high-level contacts with the Kremlin. That's over the nerve agent attack on a former spy and his daughter in an English town. The Prime Minister Theresa May also says Britain will clamp down on murky Russian money and human rights abusers. World leaders, scientists, and fans are expressing their condolences after learning of the death yesterday of Stephen Hawking at age 76. The best-known theoretical physicist of his time was one of science's biggest celebrities since Albert Einstein. His body was attacked by ALS when he was 21, but he stunned doctors by living with the usually fatal illness for more than 50 years. And that is a look at our top stories and weather within the first 7 minutes of KOAM News at 5. Next in Health Watch, a guide for a tough topic.
Talking to your kids about school violence. I'm Meg Oliver in New York City with advice from health professionals on this tough topic.
And a little later, how Pitt State plans on using a $300,000 loan to further the Block 22 project.